Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the CreditRepairShop.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about, can you delete a negative item, a collection that you just ended up paying? Just say that they called you and you were afraid they threatened you. You didn't want to go through the hassle. Maybe the debt was very small, a couple $100 or less, or whatever the amount. And you just said, I know that this debt is mine. You didn't know about the validation process. You didn't know about your rights on how you could dispute that negative information and all of the processes. So you're just thinking right now, can I get it off my report because this item is hurting me on my credit reports? And you can absolutely do that. See, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, a negative item must, even if it's your negative item, it has to be on your reports in an accurate way. And even if you pay the item, even if you pay the debt collection company, it doesn't matter because you still have a right to make sure that everything is reported accurately on your credit reports. So probably on your credit reports, if you've paid that item, it's probably saying paid for less or settled in full for less, or paid, and it showed negative and then it showed paid. The first thing that I would do, and you could test this depending on which, if you're trying to make your credit move up with some points, or if you just want to get the item removed. There's two strategies that you could use. The first one, if you paid the item and if you paid payments on the item where you didn't even pay it and you didn't pay in one lump sum, then you have a right to have that information reported positive on your credit reports. A lot of people don't even know that that's something that they have to do. You can make the collection agency report all of your payments on there, or you could tell them to take it off your credit reports. But if you had them put your payment history on there as positive, it will make your credit score actually go up. I've seen this happen before with clients. I've seen it happen before with people that I've given this information to actually do that. Now, let's just say that you pay it off in a lump sum. You could still have them report that as a positive account rather than a negative account. More than likely, they won't want to do that, but you could do that through the bureaus and have them state that it is a positive account rather than a negative account because you paid it off. You have to fight, even though they're going to put on there that it was paid for less, you have to fight that it was actually paid in full. And let me tell you the way that you do that. If the debt collector buys a debt and they settle for you for less than what the original amount was for, they cannot write that extra amount of the debt off legally and send it to the IRS for a 1099. They have to put on there that it was paid in full because they did not pay the amount that's stated for the debt. I know that this is very technical. It takes a lot of work to get them to back them into that corner, but they will be filing false paperwork if they kept it on there saying that you paid it for less than owed if they owe the debt. Trust me, they don't expect you to know that you have a right to do that. Now, if it's the original creditor, because they actually gave you the money, gave you the loan or the credit card, they actually are out of that money technically, because they if you watch my other videos, you saw how especially credit card companies make their money back from people by selling their information to various companies that sell products so they can get them to use a credit card to buy those products. But that's in another video. But the original creditor has a right to settle for less and file a 1099 statement to the IRS saying that the rest of the debt that you didn't pay is forgiven. They actually have a right to do that, and the IRS will consider it as income. But debt collection companies do not have a right to do that, but they do it to some people because people don't know their rights. So now let's go into the strategies to get the item removed off your credit reports. The first thing you should try is to say that it's an obsolete account, that the account is obsolete, because more than likely when you do that, they're not going to want to pay money to keep the account on your credit reports. But maybe you've tried it before and it didn't work. The reason why is because you didn't state a factual reason for that account to be obsolete. You can't just say it's an obsolete account. You have to state the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You have to state the specific section that talks about obsolete accounts. Adverse to your credit. The next thing is it is reporting is making an adverse, negative, adverse report on your credit report. It's adversely hurting you on your credit reports because it's not reporting accurately. Again, you're going to have to state the facts of how this paid account is actually affecting you from being able to move forward because it is not reporting accurately on your credit reports. The next thing is incorrect balances. I've seen where people paid settlements and the debt collection company just got lazy and they just left the amount on there of the balance and then said paid for less than what was originally owed, or settled for less. They can't do that. They just can't do that. They could get away with at first just saying settled for less than was owed, but you can't have that other amount on there because technically that amount does not exist anymore. And I just gave you the reasons why, especially if an original creditor settled for less and then they sent it to you to the IRS as additional income, then you actually are paying the entire amount. So they're lying on there. So you have to know your rights on that. The next thing is, and this goes into what I just said about the original creditor or debt collector, or it could be a third party collector that assigned it to another debt collector. It could be stated on your credit reports that the money went to the wrong person. It could, if it was being collected third party that was assigned, that was hired by the original creditor, but you paid the debt collector, and it shows on your credit reports that you paid the debt collector, but the money really went to the original creditor, that is an inaccurate statement, inaccurate mark on your credit reports. It needs to be removed. If it was paid to a debt collector, but it was actually assigned from a bigger debt collector to a local debt collector, but it states on your credit reports that it was paid to that collector, that is an inaccurate item on your credit reports. And that goes to you have third parties from the where you have a original creditor and then assigned it to a debt collector to pay it, but they showed on your credit reports that the debt collector paid it, and then but it was actually assigned. They didn't buy the debt from the original creditor. They can't show it on your credit reports that way because you'd actually be penalized twice. You probably have an account showing on there from the original creditor and then one from the debt collection company, and then if the other situation where there is a bigger debt collection company, and they assigned it to a lower debt collector that's in your state, and it's showing that you paid the debt collector in your state, when it technically went up to the bigger debt collector, because they're the ones that's maintaining really all of the files for it, they can't put it on your credit reports like that. They can't leave it on there like that. So if you need help with this, you can always reach out to us. I have various videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet, because if you follow the steps that I'm telling you, even if you don't know 100% what to say, but you just follow the steps, which is you figure out which strategy you want to use according to what I just said in the video. Go to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, look up the specific sections for the items, like for obsolete accounts, for inaccurate reporting. Look up that specific line on the code, and then you insert that with the reasons on why you want to dispute that item, and have and also you should add in there what you wish for them to do, or what you want them to do, or what you demand them to do, because of what is showing on your credit, because of the strategy that you're using to get it off. You demand that they remove it, or that they put it positive, or that they show all the good payment history, just depending on the strategy that you want to do. So please subscribe to my YouTube page. Use this, comment below. Let's get these things done, because they're doing all types of things to try to hold people back by just the information on the credit reports. All right, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.